circular economy and helping brands meet consumer demand for eco-friendly and circular solutions are at the heart of Stora Enso's business. Today we will talk about our new steps in sustainability, and we will also discuss some tough questions related to topics like biodiversity and plastic-free solutions. Annica, we are taking new steps in our sustainability journey. Can you share a bit with us on the new focus areas and how they contribute to our customers?
Well, of course, we are building on our already responsible business practices, and our focus now is on circularity, climate and biodiversity. And we notice that these are really relevant topics to our customers and actually for the whole world. And we have the competence to support our customers on their journey to reach their own targets. Of course, these are not new topics for us. I'm quite proud actually that we were the first company in our industry to have science-based targets on climate impact. And science-based means that you can actually track and trace your progress and have measurable targets to show your improvement. So we continue our journey and we want to move to positive impact on environment and people.
Can you elaborate on how we contribute to environment and people?
For us it means not only working to minimize impact, but actually becoming regenerative and have a positive impact. It means, for instance, operating within the safe space of planetary boundaries. Instead of minimizing carbon footprint, it means having products that are carbon positive. And becoming a regenerative company with regenerative solutions is the focus for us the upcoming years, making sure that we have tangible targets and actions. And we will share more about this in the coming months.
You mentioned planetary boundaries. What are they and why are they important to us?
The planetary boundaries have been defined by the Stockholm Resilience Center. And there are 9 of them: climate change, biodiversity, ozone depletion or land system changes, freshwater usage, etc. If we cross these boundaries, we create irreversible environmental changes, changes that lead to severe consequences for humankind. And that is why it's very important for societies and companies to try to stay within the planetary boundaries. And the most relevant for our business are, of course, climate change and biodiversity. So what we're doing now moving forward is setting targets in these areas to constantly be able to improve our performance.
Related to biodiversity, some people are worried that if we use wood to produce products, we will soon don't have any forest left and we will destroy biodiversity. What would you say to someone who worries about this?
Well, first of all, we have been managing forests for hundreds of years. We are a long-term forest owner and forests are the foundation of our businesses. Without growth in the forests, we will not have renewable products. So we have a long history for caring of our forest and making sure that we always improve our methods and are sustainable. So we already do many things today. More trees are grown than harvested, and our products are 100% from sustainable sources, and we know the source of our fiber. We use forest certification, and in the future what we want to improve is to measure our contribution to biodiversity and become biodiversity positive.
We talk about making brands circular. How do we actually do this?
Well, I think it's important that for every choice we make, that we make the choice of low carbon and using renewable materials wherever possible. Our products are circular already today, and by building in design principles, we can significantly reduce the carbon footprint and plan also what happens after the end of life of our products. The most important thing we can do in, for instance, packaging is to minimize food waste. And here using packaging that is light in weight and has a low carbon footprint is very, very important. And Through different sustainable design principles, we can reduce, for instance, packaging waste. We can take away unnecessary parts and avoid over-packaging. And for consumers, of course, it is also very important that we think that it needs to be easy to recycle. We know already that it's possible. The recycling rates are very high in the Nordics and Central Europe, and actually 85% of our products are being recycled in Europe. What we need to work on is to standardize collection and recycling systems, to collaborate with municipalities to set the standards, and with companies and organizations in our value chain. Because as a company, we are really committed to reaching the EU targets for recycling, but we cannot do it alone.
When we listen to our customers talking about their sustainability commitments, they raise different things. Everything from plastic-free to recycled content. So my question to you is basically, is there one product or feature that solves all those issues?
There are no perfect products. You have to look at the specific application of each packaging product that you have. But the design process is important, and taking the full life cycle of the packaging, for instance, in consideration is truly crucial to make sure that you make the best application and choose the right material. So make the materials easy for recycling is a good starting point, but make sure that you choose the right material from the beginning, which are renewables.
We know that our customers want recycled content, but is recycled better than using virgin fiber?
We need both. The need for packaging is growing, so of course it's important that we can keep as much materials in the system for as long time as possible. And more recycled content helps that growth. To use recycled materials typically are in non-food or transport packaging, and often virgin fiber is used in food packaging. But as we develop new innovations and recycling technology, we can improve purity, and we can see more recycled materials also in food packaging, where the standards for hygiene are very high.
What would you say to someone who thinks that plastics and other fossil-based materials still solves all the issues, and that renewable materials are limited in their availability and properties?
Well, first of all, we need to find solutions to combat climate change and global waste problem. And therefore, it is important to switch to renewable materials. Recycling is simply not enough. In construction, for instance, we can see now exceptional demand for wooden building elements because customers are increasingly aware of the impact of material usage. In packaging, brands want eco-friendly solutions, so switching to renewables is a very good and important starting point.
At Stora Enso, we talk about a plastic-free supply chain. But how can we do that when we actually have products that contain plastics?
Well, our ambition is not to replace all the plastics. That might not be possible, but as much as possible. And replacing a lot in supply chains of materials that are fossil-based can be done already today. In packaging for e-commerce, food, transport, for instance, there are already today solutions that can be used. And even if we can't completely remove a plastic, we can reduce the amounts. So our products today, if we want to redesign them for the future and we have to use some parts of plastic, we will make sure that they are bioplastics used wherever possible.
We recently completed a study with experts who know our customers really well. And one of the results of the study is a bit contradictory. We see that they want plastic-free, but with all the benefits of plastics. How can we solve this?
There are a lot of perceptions and also sometimes misconceptions about things, such as that you can do anything from plastics and that plastics are generally easy to recycle. And yes, if we take an example such as the PET bottle, that is an easy monomaterial that is easy to recycle and there is a system for it. But actually most plastics are not monomaterials. They are complex structures and they are very difficult to recycle. So my point is that there are no perfect materials that can solve all the needs, but if you start from a position that you want to have an environmentally good performing material, you have to start with the design process. And you have to use materials that are easily separated in standardized recycled systems. So we need more monomaterials, innovations in these areas. And we know already today that fiber-based packaging, for instance, performs better than plastics in many environmental aspects. So constantly working to achieve plastic-free in the supply chains is a crucial area for us and for our customers. Already today, we use plastic-free packaging in dry foods and e-commerce. And by developing functional barriers, we can use paperboard also for packaging liquids and foods. So there is a growing need for plastic-free packaging, and it's only by working together in the value chain that we can innovate and bring new solutions to the market, solutions that consumers want.
We also sometimes get the question if there are enough trees to replace all fossil-based materials.
Well, we are not claiming that we will replace all fossil-based materials, but gradually replacing what can be replaced and innovating even more sustainable solutions is the way forward. And I can take one example, for instance, a lot of protection packaging and cushioning material, which is today made by polystyrene, a very difficult material to recycle and not sustainable from any perspective. This can be replaced today with bio-based foams and recycled like paper. So the usage of raw materials can be done more efficiently. And this is something that we have been working for many, many years. And today, for instance, twice as much milk cartons can be packaged compared to 50 years ago with the same amount of material. So getting more out of every tree.
How can customers convey to consumers that their product is the most sustainable choice?
What I see is very encouraging is that consumers are very conscious about materials, and our children are so knowledgeable about the environmental impact. And what it means is that it is about the everyday choices that all of us make every single day when we consume. And brands can really stand out by communicating the choices that they make, that they want to be eco-friendly and contribute to a better future. We have expertise on what is a sustainable material. We can help our customers and brand owners to evaluate different options, for instance by using life cycle analysis. And we can find better solutions to reduce the plastics. Even if we cannot always achieve totally plastic-free or totally biodegradable, we will still make a better sustainable option available.
Thank you, Annica. Let's end this with a few quick questions, and I expect you to answer with just a few words. What does the future look like in your opinion?
It is renewable.
What would you like to ask from our customers?
More collaboration and executing on innovation.
And what can we, all of us, do to lead a more eco-friendly life?
Make conscious decisions every single day.
Many thanks, Annica.
Thank you.